Joining us on the Rich Eisen Show, Mercedes-Benz Vans phone line is none other than Pro Football Hall of Famer Peyton Manning. How you doing, brother?
Hey, Rich, doing well. Thanks for having me, pal.
Anytime. Congrats on everything going on with you. What is life like for you? I mean, are you taking pitches and you're check marking stuff on Omaha Productions and then getting ready to watch football? Seriously, I mean, how do you spend your day, Peyton? What's going on with you?
I mean, believe it or not, I actually do say no to some things. Eli says nobody believes that.
Yeah.
He's like, that's not true, but I actually do. I'm excited football is here. Looking forward to Tennessee Vols hopefully having a good season. The Broncos and Colts getting started on Sunday and Monday, and last night's game was awesome. I'm a youth coach on my son's sixth grade football team, so we're playing Saturday morning. So football is here, which is good. So I'm busy, but kind of busy on my own terms. And this College Bowl show, we filmed it in the summer in Atlanta for a week. It was a great week with Cooper. You know, Rich, you and I have talked about it many a time out at the Pro Bowl. It was always a goal of mine to be a game show host. And to finally check that box has been big. And then, I get to work with Cooper in College Bowl. I get to work with my brother Eli for Monday Night Football. You know, I enjoy keeping them employed. So that's kind of what I've been up to.
Yeah, I mean, I thought I was born, put on the planet to give away cash and prizes, but now you're doing that as well. What game shows did you watch growing up, Peyton? Which ones did you watch growing up?
Probably all the same ones you did.
Price is Right?
$25,000 Pyramid.
$25,000.
Wheel of Fortune, Jeopardy. You know, I was big into the soap operas. I was watching, Days of Our Lives. I was also watching Dynasty in Dallas with my mom at night. So probably a weird kid. But, the College Bowl is a little bit different. I mean, Rich, the one thing that hooked me about this was that the grand prize, like you said, the prizes they're playing for are college scholarships. I'm a big believer in scholarships. Been a big part of my giving at my alma mater at some HBCUs. We just named a Demarius Thomas Scholarship at Georgia Tech in his honor to someone from his hometown. We started the Mara Mant Scholarship.
Good for you.
Of course, you were part of and know Mara. So it's been a great way to pay it forward, to give someone else an opportunity, but also to pay tribute to someone. So the College Bowl aspect, that's kind of what intrigued me. These kids are competing. They're playing hard. Cooper and I are trying to stay out of the way, but they're playing for life-changing scholarships, which can pay off student debt, send them to grad school, help their younger brother go to college. So that was the coolest part about it.
Yeah, and Columbia University trying to hold on to their back to defend the title, Peyton.
That's exactly right.
Back to defend.
It was better this year, Rich. We had 16 teams.
Yep.
We had a live audience. Last year didn't have that due to COVID. Coop. Open mic into the audience. That's where he thrives with an open mic in front of the crowd. We had bands. We had mascots. So it was just a better overall show. I thought it was more fun to do because there were no COVID restrictions. And so it starts tonight, and hopefully people will enjoy it.
And I love it behind the breaking down the numbers behind the matchups. The man with the second most famous khakis to Jim Harbaugh, Steve Kornacki. You got him going on there, man. I mean, he's a blast.
We brought Steve in from some analysis, whether it's politics or College Bowl. Steve's always there.
He gets after it.
He was huge. I mean, Rich, for me, I'm not going to lie, Cooper just sort of like, wings everything, right? He chimes in. There's no filter. He knows it's not live or editing. For me, I literally had an hour pronunciation meeting every morning. I'm like, I don't know what this word means, but here's how I want it spelled in my monitor. In my Tennessee phonetics, this woman didn't know how to handle it. I'm like, SUH-TUH-. She's like, that's not how I normally do it. I'm like, well, that's how we have to do it today because I don't know how to pronounce it.
You like that, TJ? That's great. Oh man, Peyton Manning here on the Rich Eisen Show. All right, let's jump into the football if you don't mind. What was your impression of the season opener last night, Peyton?
Whew. Rams looked great. Wow, they hitting on all cylinders.
No, I know.
0 Super Bowl hangover for them. It was surprising to me. I mean, I thought, Buffalo was good. I didn't know they were going to be that good going into that place. Look, I played the Patriots on a raise the banner, show the highlights from last year game, and it's tough. I mean, it's always tough playing in New England, but I mean, the team, it's not like they're still thinking about last year. They're fired up. The crowd's into it. So for the Bills to go in there and do that to the Rams, real credit to them. Josh Allen was a freak. Vaughn was a freak. Diggs was a freak. And look out, AFC, because Buffalo's for real.
Well, I mean, what about Allen's game might be improved to me is it just, I don't know. It seems that whatever you might throw at him or whatever the Rams were particularly going to throw to him, he handles it. He might even just run over it, run through it. And also he seems to maybe neck up be more improved. I know it's just 4 quarters, but I'm wondering what your keen eye and quarterbacking saw out of Allen last night that we might see just a whole different beast, because that's what he is, Peyton.
No, I agree. You can tell he's worked hard this offseason. Look, he's motivated. I mean, that's an angry team, right? They are angry and frustrated after losing that playoff game to the Chiefs in the fashion that they did. So I like an angry team, right? I don't want a team comfortable and happy. And I thought Josh's decision-making was just quick last night, whether it was to get the ball out of his hand or to tuck it and run it, right? I mean, he's so athletic. He can hold the ball in the pocket for a long time, but for him to make those quick decisions, a couple of times down the red zone, it wasn't there, boom, take off and run, right? Scrambles out, boom, quick throw down to Diggs down the sideline. So, even though he's athletic and can run, you still want your quarterback making quick decisions, whether it's to get the ball out of his hands or to turn and run, and you could see that evident last night.
And what about a second-year leap for Joe Burrow? I'm fascinated by him and the Bengals because so many people – Peyton, overlook what we could expect from Cincinnati in year 2 because they're the Bengals. But, I mean, you could have said that about the Bills because of all the years of their troubles, but they're now the Bills. It's a different story, right? So what do you think of Burrow and having been to the Super Bowl before, as you know, and what he could take out of that and come in with maybe even more improved in year 2?
Yeah. I think the Bengals are here to stay. I don't think this is a one-year deal, and we'll hear from the Bengals in 20 years. As long as Burrow's back there, I mean, they are going to be in every game. He's angry. He's motivated. Joe's not the kind of guy that's happy with going to the Super Bowl, right, and getting beat, and that's just not how he's wired. So I like him angry and motivated, which is good for Cincinnati. That division is going through a lot of change, as you know. So, the days of, Pittsburgh and Baltimore being just a 2-man race in that division is just not the case anymore. I mean, both those teams will always be in it, but Cincinnati has made their statement, and the division is on notice. And I can relate to that. Being with the Colts, Rich, for years, the Colts were kind of a circled win in the old AFC East, right? I mean, Jim Harbaugh had some great years there. That was different. But for a while, when the Bills and the Dolphins were coming to play Indianapolis, Marino and Kelly weren't exactly sweating, okay? It was a circled win. And the goal is not to become a circled win, right? And in 1999, we beat Buffalo in the opening game, and everybody kind of said, wait a minute, maybe the Colts aren't the same old Colts, or the Bengals aren't the same old Bengals anymore. And that's because of Burrow. And as long as he's there, they're going to have a chance.
Peyton Manning, Pro Football Hall of Famer. Capital One College Bowl kicks off its sophomore season. In television terms, that's year 2. Back-to-back episodes tonight at 8 Eastern on NBC. A few more minutes left with the Pro Football Hall of Famer. Matt Ryan and your old Diggs. How is that going to change fortunes, do you think, for the Colts? You're already hearing Michael Pittman say, you better be in spots now, where last year we weren't talking about that because Matt likes it a certain way. You're the king of liking it a certain way, certainly in that building, in that town. What do you think about Ryan in Indianapolis, Peyton?
Yeah, I'm pulling hard for him. He reached out to me kind of during the off season and asked me a few questions about Indianapolis, and immediately I just felt like, boy, this would be a great marriage. Great for Matt in kind of a second chapter for him as Atlanta's kind of rebuilding, and just what Frank Reich has needed. Look, the Colts have been searching since Andrew Luck retired to try to find some stability at quarterback. And it'd be nice to have the same quarterback for a couple of years in a row and not just kind of a, 1-year transition plan. And I think Matt is hungry. I think Matt still has things that he feels like he needs to prove. I don't really see that. I think Matt has done it all. But obviously he hasn't won a Super Bowl, but still he's had an incredible career, but he's wired differently also, and that he's motivated. And I've heard Reggie Wayne say that, Matt is holding those receivers accountable, wants those guys in the right place because he's going to get the ball to them. And when you bring a quarterback in like Matt or Russell Wilson to Denver, wide receivers, it changes their fortunes, right? They are going to get the ball on the backside of a play that they haven't gotten it in 3 years because everybody is live. All 5 receivers are live every single play. And that's what a good quarterback can do. He keeps those guys involved. And so they're going to run hard for him. They're going to play hard for him, make catches across the middle. So I'll be pulling hard for Matt and the Colts this year.
And what advice do you have for Russell Wilson? I mean, talk about no chill by the NFL schedule makers game 1 in his new spot. I mean, you had like 7 weeks, right, before you had to go back, right, to Indianapolis?
I thought that was a little dirty by the commission and the league and the schedulers. I mean, can he play a game in his current uniform?
Right.
Like in Houston before he gets to go play,
for instance,
in the place where he played for 10 years. I mean, seriously, I could see him going to the wrong locker room, the wrong sideline, because Russell is calm and cool, and you hear him say, it's not going to be any different, and I'm going to be in control, and maybe he will, but there's going to be a lot of emotions. And look, he's never played there as an opponent. He's never dealt with the crowd noise there. So. But the NFL is smart, right? It's going to be must-see TV, and hopefully a couple people will watch my brother make fun of me as we're talking about the game on Monday night. But I see Russell playing well, Rich. I really do. I see him being calm and cool in the moment, and look, might have a 3-and-out to start. Could be some butterflies they haven't played, but I see them eventually kind of getting in a rhythm. At the same time, look, Seattle. I love Pete Carroll, right? I mean, somebody says they're rebuilding. Pete Carroll says, no, absolutely not. We are rolling. So I think Pete will have that group fired up. And so from that standpoint, it'll be a good game.
So last one to bounce off you, Peyton Manning, before we send you into your College Bowl Friday. Look, you didn't, I'm sure, want anybody talking for you when the media was wondering if it's your last season. So I know I tread lightly when I ask you to comment on Tom Brady here, but his comment where he's like, I'm 45 with a lot of ish going on, certainly gave me pause to think like, okay, he loves the sport. He can't quit it for the obvious reasons, right? But maybe, just maybe, this is his last year. I'm wondering what you took out of that comment and thoughts on this subject matter, Peyton.
Yeah, it certainly should probably give people pause to kind of just think about it, and everybody's going to try to analyze what it means. I haven't spoken to Tom, much during training camp. I keep in touch with Clyde Christensen, his quarterback coach. He and I don't go there as far as, hey, tell me what's going on with Tom. I just kind of talk football with him and, talk about each other's families. So I think only Tom, like you said, can speak for himself. He sent me a picture when they played in Indianapolis of Lucas Oil Stadium, and he and I have laughed through the years. I mean, he's convinced the Colts used to pipe in crowd noise, and I was behind it. I was the DJ on the crowd noise. Of course, Deflategate's one of his favorite topics with the Colts, and he hates the Colts equipment managers, and so we laugh about that.
What's the photograph he sent you? What's the picture he sent you? What do you of a speaker?
He sent a picture of Lucas Oil Stadium and just said, what the heck am I doing here? And I kind of took it as, like I'm back in this place that I don't like very much. But, it probably is a little bit. Even Tom is probably amazed and surprised at himself that at this age he's still playing a preseason game in Indianapolis. And so I just kind of sent a ha-ha text back and didn't try to overanalyze it. But, look, if it is going to be his last year, I hope he does kind of slow down and enjoy the journey, right? And, I mean, he could have 4 more last years, but just to kind of hurry through it and kind of get through the season and not think about it, that's not the right approach. And so if you start seeing him reminiscing a little bit or getting a little bit sentimental on certain situations, then that's a good thing, I think. He deserves it. But, I mean, I don't see him coming out and saying, this is my last year and doing the video tributes and bringing the rocking chair like they did for Kareem out. I don't see him going that approach. But, I'm sure it's on his mind. And, from that standpoint, that's probably a good thing.
I can't wait to. How many are you and your brother doing this year? Are you doing the full slate, or you're going to take some time off, or what are you doing?
We're doing 10 games.
Okay.
Look, I don't want to see Eli that much. Perfect, right? But to have to see him every Monday night, no good. So just doing 10, kind of spread out throughout the season. Got some good games, got some good rivalries, got some great guests again. We're I'm going to announce these guests here in a couple of days for the first week, and we'll have some repeat guests. I mean, Condoleezza Rice, Snoop Dogg, absolute no-brainers. But a couple of people passed last year, so we've kind of reached back out to them to see if they'll maybe come back and join us. And the number one criteria, Rich, is they have to love football, right? That's the thing. And whether they're in politics, sports, or acting or whatnot, they have to love football. And I like hanging around people that love football as much as I do.
Well, I told you this, Peyton, and I'll say it again. And you're a natural at it, but and you have the unfortunate aspect of this construct. You're in the time zone of the dinner hour. Eli can have his dinner before the game. You got to go off camera. I mean, I don't know how many times they've been sneaking you, taking a big old bite of a wing, and you almost take your hand off with you. You can avoid it, is what I'm saying, Peyton.
Look, I tried. Eli, I think, has threatened this cameraman. He's like, if you don't follow him eating into the bathroom, then you're fired. You're out. I mean, they find me. I mean, this place I'm in has got some space now.
Right.
They find me, and it's all Eli. So. I'll work on it.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, I hate to say it, but you are better than that, Peyton. I mean, you can avoid it. You can avoid it. But I'm out there watching. So are my kids. So is America. And look forward to Capital One College Bowl tonight. Back-to-back episodes at 8 Eastern time with you and Cooper. And I cherish the times you call in. Thanks for doing it, Peyton. You're the man.
Hey, Rich. Thanks for having me, pal. See you soon.
Anytime. That's Peyton Manning, the one and only, right here on the Rich Eisen Show. There you go.
That was great.
I mean, he's better than that. I just told Peyton Manning you're better than that.
That's great.